Hi, I'm Travis McDouglas with Sheepdog Enterprises. I'm one of the trainers here at our survival school. And today what we're going to be talking about is binoculars. All right, binoculars are used by saltwater fishermen, hunters, astronomers, bird watchers, and even experienced travelers. It's an invaluable tool that you can use. Basically, a binocular are two low-powered telescopes that are mounted next to each other on a center pivot point. Some of the things that you use binoculars for is to bring objects in the distance closer into you so that you can see them with more definition. One of the things that helps out with this is different parts of the binocular. We're going to go over those right now. The first one is called the objective. Now, an objective is the front lens right here. And when you buy a new set of binoculars, what they talk about is the magnification. Okay, so you have usually two numbers. Like on this one, if you can see it here, it says 7 by 35. So the 35 is the diameter of the objective. So this is a 35 millimeter diameter objective. The 7 is the magnification power of the binocular. Okay, the larger the objective, the more light that it lets in, and the more it's able to pick up, and you can see better. So when you're looking to go and buy a pair of binoculars, you want this objective to be relatively large, depending on how far you're trying to get out to sea. The way a binocular works is it takes light that bounces off of an object, brings the light in through the objective, and it bounces off of prisms that are inside of what's called the body of the binocular. Okay, and those prisms bounce that light back and forth and then bring it up through what's called the eyepiece. This is the eyepiece here, and the eyepiece allows you to be able to see inside of the binocular. There's a portion here. Some binoculars have it and some don't. This one doesn't happen to have it, but it's called an interpupillary scale. And what that does is it actually allows you to know the distance between your own pupils, and it just kind of gives you a guide. One of the other things that's on the eyepiece here is called the eye cup. And as you can see right here, it's a rubber ring that fits around the outside of the eyepiece. Now, the eye cup can actually be changed from flat to up, and what the different positions are for is if you have it in the up position like this, it allows you to put it up against your eyes, and it helps block out some of the light. If you put your eyepiece or your eye cup down along the eyepiece, then you can actually put it up against your glasses or sunglasses or whatever, and we'll get a little bit more into that later. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the diopter adjustment ring. The diopter adjustment ring is this thing here. It's this movable ring that most binoculars have. Now the diopter ring, or the diopter adjustment, what that does is it lets you get in a super fine focus. Once you've gotten your main focus in, using the center adjustment, is you can fine adjust it to your eyes. And the way you do that is by looking through it. You'll just keep it up against your eye, and you will go ahead and adjust the diopter adjustment ring until you get a very crisp, clear view of what you're looking at. As you can see, a lot of these will come with neck straps. Some won't. It's just something that if you want, you can look for. If it's not, then don't worry about it. It's not a big thing. There are binoculars that'll just fit in your pocket, and you don't need to worry about it. This central shaft here, the part that runs down the middle, that is what allows the binoculars to adjust to your eyes. So somebody that has a bigger head we'll adjust them further apart, while somebody that has a smaller head and their eyes are closer together, we'll bring them together to adjust to their eyes. It just makes it a lot easier. And the last thing I've already mentioned a little bit is called the body or the tube. And on this pair, the body is relatively small. It's not very big. On this other pair that I have, the body is quite a bit larger, going from the objective to the eyepiece. You can see that it's a much larger in comparison to the two. You are able to find ones that have even much larger bodies, and that just helps with the magnification and the way that the prisms work. What you'll do now is you're going to want to learn how to focus. So the way you focus is they all have a different focusing ring or a focusing adjustment, and this one happens to be one on that's kind of a swivel here. Some of them are a ring that you move back and that you can roll around. But it depends on the manufacturer and the type of binocular that you have. So this one is the one that I'm demonstrating. Has a real smooth movement back and forth, and when you go to look, you just want to be able to look out at whatever it is that you're looking at, and then just adjust until you get that clear picture, and then you can use your diopter adjustment ring to get it even into more fine focus. The way that you can tell that you're in focus is that it doesn't strain your eyes. You want to go ahead and move the adjustment rings until you are able to clearly see what you're looking at, and what you're looking at should look almost three-dimensional to you as you're looking out into the distance, trying to get that. So how do you find what you're looking at? This is the biggest problem that most people have when they're using a binocular, is trying to find what you're looking at after you've brought it up. So the best way to do this is to find a building, a tree, something, keep your eye focused on that object, and bring your binocular up to you while your eyes are focused, so that you aren't trying to sit there and search for it while you look down at your binoculars and bring them up, and then you look and try and find what it is that you're looking for. So if you see an object out in the distance that you want to look at, again, fixate your eyes on that. Don't move your eyes from that object. Just sit there, stare at your object, bring your binoculars up to you, and it should come into the field of view of your binoculars. Okay. So the last thing that we're going to talk about, or one of the last couple things that we're going to talk about, is if you've got glasses. So you can use your glasses with binoculars, and like I had said before, there is the eye cup that can be adjusted, or that usually will flop down. As you can see, this one's up and this one's down. If you've got glasses, you want to bring them down. You want to watch your eye relief, which is the distance of this lens to your eyeball. And so when you are adjusting for that, when the eye cup is out, it brings it a little bit further out away from your eye, even where if you have it in, you can put it right up to your glasses and you can see. All right. If you're not using your glasses and you want your eye cup up, what you're going to do is you take your glasses off, you bring your eye cup up, you want to get a good seat, you'll be able to see, get your adjustment, adjust your diopter, or adjust your objective diopter ring until you get a nice, crisp, clear view, and then you'll have what it is that you're looking for. Last thing that we want to talk about is that we want to talk about your cleaning of your binoculars. All right, when you go to clean a binocular, you can buy binoculars that cost $10. You can buy binoculars that cost $1,000 or more. doesn't matter how you use it. You just want to make sure that when you're cleaning your lenses, that you're doing it well. So what you're going to do is you treat them just like you would a pair of good glasses, whether it's a soft brush or a lens cloth, something like that. You want to start with a soft bristle brush or compressed air. You can blow off your glass or your lenses. Try and get as much stuff off of them as you can. Then use a lens cleaner cloth, usually damp. You can find lens cleaner from any number of places. You can get them from camera shops, outdoor stores, eyeglass facilities, places like that are going to have that specialize in optics. All right, and once you've got a little bit of it, you get a little soft wet cloth. You wipe it on your lens. You wipe it on your lens here, and then you use a dry cloth to finish it up. If you find that there's still things on it, what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat until you get the whatever it is that's in your view out of the way. Now you can just go ahead and use your shirt and wipe them off, but it's going to end up leaving little tiny micro scratches in your lenses, and that's going to interrupt your view, and it's not going to, eventually, it's just not going to be as clear and as crisp as it was the day you bought them. So if you take your time and give your binoculars a good cleaning, these binoculars here were from my grandfather, my great-grandfather. Actually, my great-grandfather had handed them down to my grandfather, who gave them to my mother, who gave them to me. And so this is fourth-generation binoculars that we've used, and they work well. And so just be aware that they can last a long time if you take care of them. So anyways, I hope this gets you to understand a little bit more about binoculars. There are some things that you can, further things that you can learn with binoculars, and using binoculars with a map. You can start to learn how to judge distances and things like that. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to, if you go to sheepdogenterprises.com, there's a great article on there on how to use a map and how to tell distance. And then with binoculars, you'll be able to start using your binoculars with that map knowledge on how to get that distance. So again, go to sheepdogenterprises.com and learn how to use the map and start learning how to tell distance between the two.